If you're like me and most of the world, you're probably tuned in to the first Marvel TV show on Disney Plus and have watched each episode spotting sitcom tropes and trying to uncover the mystery of the show. But why is Wandavision a sitcom? My name's Josh Taylor, this is Modern Mouse, and today I want to talk about Wandavision and why it's using television and sitcoms to talk to us about larger real-world problems. Okay, so first off, I know that this is unintentional because the first Marvel TV show that was supposed to be on Disney Plus was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I find it really unique and interesting that WandaVision is the very first Marvel show on Disney Plus because it's basically a TV show about TV shows, or at least paying homage to other TV shows. Just found that as a neat little thing. But if you've been following the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all of its movies, which there's a ton of, and I'm sorry for those of you that feel the need to catch up, you may notice that many of Marvel's characters have gone through some stuff. And not just in the superhero fighting bad guys kind of way, but Black Panther loses his father. Tony Stark realizes the danger that he's caused by weaponizing the world with Stark Industries. And more importantly, we see Wanda Maximoff time and time again be hurt by the world around her. In Age of Ultron, we know that Wanda and her brother Pietro, no, not that one, that's the one, they're experimented on and become weapons for Hydra. In Captain America Civil War, we see her accidentally destroy a building and consequently murder a ton of people. And by Infinity War, she's forced to murder the love of her life to save the universe. It's a long story if you don't know, but basically Vision has a stone in his head and Thanos needed it, and if he got it, he would have the power to kill half the population in the galaxy. So she did that. She killed her lover. Then she watched Thanos reverse time. Again, long explanation if you haven't seen it. And she watched Thanos murder Vision in front of her. Basically what I'm saying is that out of everyone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, who's gone through more grief and pain than everyone else. And while her powers make her strong physically, she isn't equipped to deal with the trauma that's been put in front of her. We've all gone through grief or stress or depression. And no matter how strong we are, it's hard to chase away those feelings without some serious help. And many of us will just cope with it. I can testify to this myself. I've distracted myself or hidden away or bottled up my emotions. And WandaVision as an entire series is showing us how we as humans cope with grief. According to the American Psychological Association, 40% of Americans don't deal with the problems inside, but instead use television to distract themselves from the feelings that are plaguing them. And what Marvel has done is taken one of their most vulnerable characters and used her in a way to tell us about how we use television. But beyond that, why is WandaVision a sitcom? For some of us, we curl up and watch the 10,000 episodes of Law & Order or maybe fall into a new show that's on Netflix. But sitcoms are something we all know. Despite situational comedies having been around for decades, they really haven't changed all that much. The majority of them are harmless. Characters in sitcoms just live in a world that is not riddled with crime or grief or stress. And when there are those moments, there's always someone there to hug you, to pick you up, and to move on with. Psychologists also know that many of us rewatch our favorite shows over and over because it's a way of controlling our emotions at a time when we feel that we have no control over the other things happening around us. Humans prefer predictability over uncertainty. Wanda's use of looking back through history's greatest sitcoms gives her a feeling of predictability. It's a comfort and ease that the world that she's created around her is something she's in control of. She can keep the love of her life or have a nice home with her family and hang out with the neighbors. But this type of coping will eventually have to end, and it unravels on Wanda in similar ways to what we can experience. When we use any form of entertainment as some sort of drug rather to pass time with enjoyment, we actually start losing time. I've personally had those nights where I couldn't sleep. I continued to watch TV episode after episode, and before I knew it, it was 3 hours before I had to be at work the next day. Overwatching or binging television or any form of media can actually leave you foggy and numb. Jokes that you may have laughed at in your favorite show may not be funny at all by hour 6 of watching it. At that point, you're just watching a TV show to be distracted, and maybe not even fully paying attention. And even after turning off the TV, you're still left in some kind of haze for the rest of the day. And continuing to binge and watch TV and distract yourself with all these different forms of media could only put you behind on tasks. And when you end up in a time crunch like that, it only adds more stress to your life. The first 2 episodes of Wandavision go on with very minor disturbances. Wanda's still very much in control of her surroundings, but as we get into future episodes, outside forces like Sword or Pietro, her brother, again, not that one, this one, they're making her lose control, and overall she's unraveling, creating a fight or flight mentality with stress. Coping with television ultimately makes most of us worse off. We don't get enough done, or we become fatigued, we become ill. And I'm not a doctor by any means, but I've personally seen this in myself. It does us good to do different activities that actually use different parts of our brains, like exercising, or writing, or reading, or cooking. And I also think that we have to eventually stop hiding from our problems. Whether that means that you write in a journal, or go see a therapist, or just talk with friends, that's up to you. We have to be comfortable with addressing the things that hurt us, because if we don't, they'll still continue to be there. I love TV and movies, don't get me wrong. This entire channel is basically dedicated to it, but TV and movies aren't real life, and we can't fictionalize our emotions to make them magically go away. We can actually learn a lot from watching TV and film, but we can't use it as a way to hide from our problems, to hide from the things that are larger outside of us and the things that are deep within us. WandaVision might be one of those shows that people talk about for a while, because of how it brings in new characters to Marvel or how it ties in with other universes. But ultimately, I think we should talk about Wanda and how she deals with her emotions and what we can take away from that. And I get that I'm saying this as somebody who literally makes videos, and there's a ton on this channel. You could sit and watch all of the videos here for hours or even days. And by saying this, I'm kind of destroying my own temple here on YouTube. But we all need ways to help ourselves, so here's what I want to do. Instead of the last minute of this video being something about business stuff that's going on with me and the YouTube channel, I'd rather start a conversation in the comments. If you have feelings that you want to get off your chest and talk about your personal life, if you're up for it, leave a comment. Maybe me or somebody else can chime in and help you with whatever problems you have. And I'll do the same. I'll leave a comment down below with some of the feelings that I have. Maybe we can help each other out. And until next time, my friends, keep moving forward.